I'm Johnny B, and welcome back to McKinney ISD Sports Talk. Another exciting week of football. The McKinney Boyd Broncos had to go on the road to take on Flower Mound Marcus. Big game, and we are joined by head football coach Don Drake. That's no underestimation. You're fighting for that playoff spot. You got to go on the road, and you come away with a big win.
Yeah, it was huge. We knew it would be a tough battle. Marcus has a great football team, and to have to play them at their place in a must-win situation, we knew it would be a touch-and-go, hard-fought football game for the entire 4 quarters.
It was kind of like a heavyweight battle. You got out quick, had about a 13-0 lead. They came back, and then it was kind of hold-on time in the trenches.
You know, we played really well offensively in the first half. We had 4 possessions and scored on 3 of them. Defensively, they were able to establish a couple of drives, but we held them to field goals there in the first half to take that 20-6 lead. And then the second half, played great defensively again for the second half. And offensively, we really hurt ourselves with some penalty situations that put us in some down and distance situations that were really hard to convert. But defensively, we were able to go back out there on the last possession and get the stop. So it was a great win.
You were pretty concerned about just how big a football team Marcus was, and they like to wear you down inside the trenches. How do you think your kids held up against that size?
Oh, I thought we competed well. We played really hard. It was a very physical football game, as I alluded to a second ago, but I thought our kids, again, played with outstanding effort and did what they needed to do to get the win.
I sat there and said, you held Dedrick under 100, but he just seems to get those tough yards that you need right now, playing with a lot of teams that got bigger fronts.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He does a great job every week of carrying the football for us and giving us those hard-earned yards, particularly in a close ball game where you're needing to milk the clock some, and run the football, and he's done well every week with being able to do that.
Let's take a look at these highlights. It was a big game on the road for the McKinney Boyd Broncos. As you heard Coach said, a must-win.
Here's a nice throw to Jacob Cantrell on the first possession. Gave us some great field position there and moved the chains for us. We faked the pop sweep right there, and we throw the ball out here to Jeremiah Campbell on the slant and go route. Does a great job of adjusting to the throw there and then getting the ball into the end zone to give us the lead.
Grant Ressmeyer is throwing the ball great, managing the offense. It seems week after week, Coach, 70% completion ratio. That's pretty good.
It is. I've been real pleased with Grant. We've said that multiple times on this show throughout this season. He continues to produce for us. You're seeing some great defensive effort right there in those highlights. Guys, again, running to the football and playing very physical. It's a great run right there. Very athletic. That's fun to watch, Nice ball out there again to Jeremiah, breaks the tackle, gives us, again, a great field position to set up our next score.
When you talk about a guy that's really emerging as a top player for you, you got to talk Jeremiah Campbell. He's made big catches week after week.
The last 2 weeks in particular, he's done some great things for us, particularly on the deep ball and giving us some opportunities there, scoring touchdowns or setting up touchdowns on those throws. Again, a great defensive stop there by Braden Webb. To force a field goal opportunity for them, which was much needed. They got into the red zone a couple of times on us in the first half, and we were able to hold them to field goals, which was critical.
Good play. Before that, your secondary kind of covering everybody, so there was no place to throw.
Yeah, exactly. And there's Grant in the option game. Doing a great job of turning that ball up and getting a first down for us. Again, the screen pass out to Dedrick, who got some great blocks out there by our offensive lineman to set up a first down. Ball out to Brandon Bowling here on a nice play and almost gets us into the end zone right there. Again, the option play by Grant to get us down to inside the 2. And then we shove the ball in there on 4th down to make it 20-3 at that point.
Grant seems like he's seeing the whole field when he comes, making great decisions and taking what the defense gives him. He's made some great decisions as well as some big throws.
He's a very smart player. Does a good job of we play a lot of things for him and him getting us into the right play and again seeing what the defense is doing and making those adjustments.
I think one of the things about Dedrick, I would love to see his yards after contact this year. He goes through the line, pads down, takes a hit, and gets 3 or 4 extra yards.
Yeah, he's a big physical runner, and does a great job again after the first hit of being able to get more yardage, which is what you want to see out of a back.
2 weeks ago, we saw your team just swarm defensively. You're getting more of this, multiple shirts to the ball.
Yeah, and that's important. You've got to get guys running to the football. There's a great play there, force the intentional grounding call that backed them up. Again, they are in the red zone there, and through great defensive effort, we're able to force the field goals, or in this particular case, a turnover on downs, which was critical at that point. Again, another great inside run there by Dedrick to help us continue to move the chains and kill the clock a little bit and maintain possession of the football, which is critical in those close football games.
You got your offensive line. They were a little banged up early in the year, healthy again. How do you think that they're playing right now?
They're coming along very well. Like I said, in the second half, we had some penalty issues that really kind of derailed us offensively with what we were trying to do. But, again, I think the kids are gelling nicely and they're making some great plays. And I realize when you see 20 points, you always want some more on the board than what you're getting. But we've got to be able to win close games, and that means playing great defense. That means being able to run the football and maintain possession, and our kids are being able to do that.
How much more confidence does you give your team too, Don, going into an environment like this on the road, must win, and they respond?
Oh, it's great. We've won some close games this year, and that's what you want to see out of your program is them being able to fight all the way through 4 quarters and win some tight football games against some really good football teams, and we've been able to do that. We got to continue to do it, obviously, to keep moving forward in this season.
Do you think your defense is playing about as well as it has all season right now?
I think they're playing at a really high level right now. Marcus, again, we talked last week, they're huge up front in the offensive line, and our kids just kept competing, running to the football, making some great plays. They were able to move the football a little bit, but again, like I said, we bent, but we never broke, and that was huge.
You got a big game coming up Thursday night, our KLAK game of the week, home at Ron Poe against Lewisville. One match leads to another big game.
Yeah, it does. Lewisville got a big win over Plano East this past week, which puts them at 3-3 in district play, and we're currently at 4-2. And so the game Thursday night is again, we're battling for a playoff spot. If we win on Thursday, we'll lock in a playoff spot. Lewisville's kind of in the same scenario. They need to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. So there's a lot riding on Thursday night. It's senior night, so it's the last night playing in Post Stadium for our seniors. So it's a big moment for them.
Okay, big game, and we will have that on our KLAK game of the week on Thursday night. McKinney Boyd, Lewisville, just another big game. Gotta love it all season. Coach Drake, congratulations. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll be back next week to see what everybody does as we get down to crunch time on McKinney ISD Sports Talk.